Greetings, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and I want to welcome you to my new Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways podcast series. We have been overwhelmed with the responses that people have shared from listening to these messages on my SiriusXM show over the years. Those listeners, and they're sharing my show with their network, telling people about it, telling their family members, their friends, and their coworkers about this show and the impact it's having on their lives. That's the main reason that this show is now #1 for self-help in America, and I'm very grateful. Yet, we realize that many people do not have satellite radio, and therefore could not experience for themselves the message. They could not get it for themselves. So we are now sharing these messages with everyone via this new podcast. Enjoy it and share it with your network. And let's help even more people to do more, be more, and achieve more. Tell everybody so that they can live a Wealthy Ways life as well. Welcome to the new Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways podcast. And remember, your best is yet to come.
Motivated, gonna take you to the top. Motivated, highly motivated. Motivated, I'm never gonna stop. I had a job I really hated. It made me sick, but it got me motivated. I knew that this was not where I was meant to be. I didn't want to stay, but I was too afraid to leave. Then one day I got my check, there was almost nothing there. I went to the boss, he laughed and said he didn't care. My kids were at home hungry, I was about to lose my home. That's when I decided I had to make it on my own. Said,
Oh yeah, motivated, highly motivated, turned on, tuned in, ready to take it to another level. Across America, this is Willie Jolley saying to you, it's time to get it on, time to get it going, and time to get motivated. That's taken from my Money Making Music and Motivation CD. You can get it on williejolly.com or on iTunes. I am excited today because we got another opportunity to talk to you about your future, your finances, your faith, your families, and how to live the best life possible. I'm so excited about the opportunity to be on at air across America one more time, and I'm grateful for those who are joining us for the first part of this show, and those who've been around, who have enjoyed the couple of interviews we've had thus far. This is going to be an incredible interview right now. You're getting ready to get life-changing information. I'm excited because I've got some guests on who I have been waiting for a long time. Oh, y'all know these folks. Y'all know these folks. I don't care where you are in America, you're going to know these folks because these are make it happen, iconic people and figures in our community. I am very honored that my nephews, Noble Jr. and Nathan, play jazz music. They were the graduates of Peabody Conservatory, honor students, and they started their jazz career at this lady's restaurant and this gentleman's restaurant in Washington, D.C., at Union Station. The restaurant, for most people who know anything about fine food, is B. Smith's. And today I got the one and only B. Smith and her husband, Dan Gasby, on with me. Folks, how y'all doing?
We are great. How are you?
You know,
Well,
I am so glad and grateful to have both of y'all on. And we saw each other at the Black Caucus and at a couple other events over the years. And it's always a pleasure to see y'all with your smiling faces and just doing great things. And we're just so proud of all the things you've done. For those who don't know, the few people might not know, B. Smith and her husband, Dan, have created an empire in television, radio, and in hospitality and lifestyle. She is known as the queen of hospitality and lifestyle in the categories of television, radio, and in her restaurants. You want to go to a great eating experience. And Daryl, folks, my producer Daryl said, I gotta go. I keep hearing about it. I said, Daryl, I'm gonna personally take you over there because you got to have that swamp thing. You got to have swamp thing. You got to have that swamp thing.
There's nothing like swamp thing. It'll put some soul in your mouth, baby.
Woo, baby, that's it. But anyway, they have created as there. You see B on television. You see her on NBC Today. You see her all over. Tell us y'all's story real quick. Tell us where y'all started. How B, you started in modeling, and Dan, you started in television and production and sales and so forth. Tell us your story.
You know, it's been very interesting, and it's been a wonderful odyssey. My first career, and I loved being a model, but when I came to New York as a model, I already knew how to cook. Now, you know most models do not cook.
That's right.
They rarely eat, let alone cook. But I always loved entertaining, and I loved bringing people into my environment. And what I wanted to do when I opened the restaurant was to do this similar thing and just, spread the word that, hey, this is an establishment that all people can come to and feel good. The food was about great tasting food. The ambience was important to me. And, I always thought of myself as the producer, the director, the casting agent, and the featured character there.
And I got lucky because I get to watch her do all these things and help her achieve her goals. So we're a team.
Man, now y'all been together a long time. I mean, y'all have.
Well, we've been together 20 years, but in real time, we've probably been together more like 40 or 50 because when you think about it, we basically work 7 days a week, and we're together. It's rare that we're not, in the same place or even the same room at the same time. So
we're together 24/7 almost.
I can witness that, and it's interesting. There are very few people who have that experience. My wife and I have that same experience. We're together 24/7. We work together. She's my CFO and as well as the president of my nonprofit. But it's something special about when you do that. It takes a real respect for each other and a affirmation that you just.
Well, Willie, the thing is, most people who are together, the question is, do they like who they love?
Say that again, Dan. That's powerful.
A lot of people love somebody, but they don't like the person. Or they love what they feel when they feel what they feel, but they don't like the person. Or the biggest thing that we know is that it's not about ego, it's about how we go, And so we work together as a team, but you got to genuinely like the person,
You have to like and respect the person.
That is true. Let's talk for just a minute. We got just a few minutes. Let's talk about, before we get into this building business, let's talk about relationship, because I want y'all to share some of the pearls that y'all have. You've just said some that are great. So let's talk to people who are struggling.
Well, let me tell you, our relationship is a 40-40 relationship. I get 40, he gets 40, 20 swings.
In any great,
that's powerful.
Sometimes he gets it, sometimes I get it.
Well, if you look at it like a business, and if you and a business is based on a partnership, there's no such thing as a 50-50. But if you've got 40-40 of something, you've got a major stake, but you don't have control. Neither one of us controls our relationship. And so, at times it goes to her, at times it comes to me. And so we've learned, and we watch some people, they have a 70-30 relationship, and the person who has the 70 wants 50% of the 30.
That's right. That's right.
And so it doesn't work. But we've never had a problem working with money with each other. We rarely, we've had our arguments and disagreements, but we don't take them to bed, and we wake up the next morning. And when you're two passionate people, you always are not going to agree. But once we settle on something, we move as one.
But it's about respect. We respect each other, and we applaud each other.
Yep.
Oh, that's a big one.
It is.
It is huge.
I can say this to you, Willie. One of the greatest wastes in the history of American kind today is the inability of the African-American man to support an African-American woman in her dreams and quests. And sometimes, it gets to a point where a guy feels like his masculinity is going to be questioned. Everybody can't be the star. My wife is the star, and I'm the support to that star. My goal is to keep that star shining bright. Now, people will knock you for it, or people will come up to you and say, hey, so what's it like, being Mr. Smith? And I go, pretty damn good.
I love it.
Willie, he is the wind beneath my wings.
Yes.
We are really a team.
I love this. Now, if y'all were giving advice to some married couples who might be struggling, what would you say the secret to your marriage and your success as a couple is? Besides respect, besides understanding the support, what are some things that average person could do to...
Never going to bed angry.
Mm-hmm.
Lust and trust. You got to have lust and trust.
Woo, I love that. I love it. I love it. You're absolutely right.
Lust without trust will be a bust, and trust without lust is like dating your relative will turn to rust.
This is good stuff because it's actually true, because a lot of people are struggling in their marriage. And, you know, tough economic times puts more challenge on relationships anyway. So having the not going to bed disagreeing, talking about everything.
That's right.
And being open to each other's ideas. I love that 40-40 and the 20 swings, because the way I say it, I wrote it in one of my books that the greatest relationships is like a seesaw that constantly changes, that whoever loves more at that time is the one in power, and it should vacillate.
Absolutely.
And so that is fantastic. I love this. I didn't know we were going to go here, but this is exactly what people need to hear.
Wait a minute. You know, when we're with you, we never know where we're going to go till we get there, but when we get there, it's always a good place to be.
It's a good place to be.
But, you know, here's the other thing, and it's in the conversation we're having today. It's also about laughter.
Yes.
You know, you can't be too serious, and you can't make yourself crazy. You got to have fun, and you've got to have laughter and love in your life.
If you can't goof on yourself or you know, joke around or just have a good belly laugh at least once a day, you're missing one of the greatest gems in the world.
You're absolutely right. I think there was a statistic showed that said that people who laugh and have real belly laugh, they have an endorphin that is released that helps healing. And our Bible says that laughter is good medicine. And so y'all are absolutely right. Folks, y'all are listening to a power couple, Dan Gasby and the one and only B. Smith. The two of them, an incredible couple. We are talking about relationship, but we're going to talk about success. We're going to talk about entrepreneurism, and we're going to talk about how you can start to live your dreams, even in tough times. This is Willie Jolley across America on The Willie Jolley Show, and for sure, the best is yet to come. Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and if you're enjoying this information you're hearing on this podcast, I want to invite you to get even more great information on my new free gift page on my website. Go to wjspeaks.com and hit the All Access badge. On that page, you will find information and resources specifically designed to help you to have greater success. Free ebooks, music, all sorts of interesting and informational interviews for my XM show. I'm telling you, this is a great page. And why do I do it? Because I've learned that the more we give, the more we get. And the more we help other people to grow and go to the next level, the more we receive in our business. So we want to help you. Tell your friends about it. Go to Facebook and get my information. Go to my website, get my free resources, and get on wjspeaks.com and hit that All Access badge. It looks like a backstage pass. Click it. You'll get behind the scenes information to the special page to help you grow. All we want in return, all we ask is that you pass it on, because the more you give, the more you get. This is Dr. Willie Jolley. Have a great day.
Sometimes some rain's gonna fall, and everybody's house sometime trouble will call. But when trouble stops
You got to keep fighting. You got to keep trying. You can't never give up. Never give up. I don't care what you're going through, where you're at in your life, what things are happening. Never give up. Winston Churchill said it like this in a speech. He gave this simple speech, and it was one of the speeches that people remember him by. He said, never, ever, 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 ever give up, and walked away from the podium. And folks, that is a secret to success. Never give up. There are going to be challenges. There are going to be difficulties. There are going to be setbacks. But I believe a setback is a setup for a comeback. And I believe your best is yet to come. So you can never give up. Today's guests are people who never give up. They keep going after their dreams, and they have created an iconic positioning in American lifestyle that people know the name, and they are in incredibly successful positions because they never give up, and they have a big vision, and they got some secrets that they're going to share with you. You know her as B. Smith. Her name is Barbara. She was a model, but she became B. Smith and started a restaurant empire, as well as a television and a lifestyle empire, books, TV, radio. I mean, you name it, they're there. We're going to talk more about that. And her husband is the chairman of B. Smith Enterprises. He is a television producer. He is a executive. He's a brilliant man. We've developed a friendship, and I'm telling you, brilliant gentleman. Every time I talk to him, just a few minutes, I'm always inspired by the few ideas that he might just lay on me. He drops pearls just in a passing conversation. In fact, I saw him on a Mercedes-Benz commercial as well. This brother is making it happen. Dan Gasby and B. Smith, so glad to have both of y'all on.
We're always happy, Willie.
Hey, Willie.
Yes.
He drops pearls, and he also buys pearls.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
And I love wearing them.
I know that's right.
I have to keep Sweetie happy.
That's right. Happy wife, happy life. That's what I've heard.
That's right.
Well, you guys have done an incredible job of building a brand and building a whole iconic positioning in the marketplace. And you got not just the restaurants, not just television, radio. You got a lot of businesses. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about them?
We're at Bed Bath & Beyond, and we've been there for since 2000, and we've got over 350 SKUs there. We started in bedding, and we moved throughout the store, and we're in so many different categories, from window treatment to rugs to doormats, to serveware, you name it, we have it, and it's exciting. But something that you said just a little while ago is, you can't give up. We tell people that we've stood on that mountain of no's for one yes. We've knocked on doors. We've had to go back and knock on them again, and then every now and then I have to put my foot in.
We look at life as most things, you never want to shoulda all over yourself. I should have done this. I should have done that.
Yep.
We go out and we go for it, and we only know ram speed. We don't test the waters and say we swam the English Channel. We jump in and go all the way across because, my old man used to tell me. He said, "Boy, if you're swimming in the water and the water's over your nose and under your eyes, you still drown if you don't get to the other side."
That's right. That's right.
And Willie, there are days that are great days. There are days that are bad days, but we still get on up and we do what we got to do.
If we were, we would be like. We're a team, and we see something. It's almost like you're hunting, and you see it, and then you like lions chasing down a gazelle. That's how we look at our business or an idea that we're trying to develop. I mean, we stalk it, we analyze it. She may be up high, I may be down low, and then we meet at the prey. We look at it like that. And it takes stealth, it takes intelligence. We've always been honest. We won't do anything that would, maim the brand. It's tough when you're a living shingle, and that's what she is. If somebody makes a bad drink, they don't say, Red Lobster is terrible. They go, B. Smith is terrible. So it's, and you're only as good as your people, but you do the best you can, and we're in the yes business. That's the biggest thing.
Oh, say that again. Say that again.
We're all of our businesses are really based on being in the yes business. We will try to make the best that we possibly can. We will listen, and we will adapt and adjust to get it better. We're not perfect, but we never give up, and we're always striving, to get to the finish line, and we keep moving that finish line back.
And we never stop learning and growing.
That's right.
really important to us.
But I'm very proud of my wife because she has this unique ability to take very complex things and to break them down and to make them palatable so that anyone can understand it. The way she cooks, she can take complex dishes, like a souffle, and when you watch her do it, she talks about it being eggs and how to prepare it. When she's working on her home designs, we have furniture now nationwide. It's a thing of beauty to see her working with her colleagues and rolling up the sleeves and coming up with ideas, ideating, as they say, and breaking it down. We have an olive oil nut that's in 1,900 stores and moving across the country because we felt it was very important to have a healthy component to our business and the business model that we're developing as part of lifestyle.
And it's been well accepted, and so I'm working on some new oils, some walnut oil, sesame seed oil. So it's, these are items that are healthy, and we've got one of my key initiatives is to talk about health and wellness to our community.
Right.
I've worked on a program, diabetes-friendly program, and it's important that people understand it's not just the food you eat; it's getting exercise, it's moving, and it has to really get to be a part of who you are in your soul, because you're nothing if you don't have good health.
With that, you're absolutely right. Health should be primary. And folks, I'm glad she said that because we talk about wealth in this show. And, for those who listen every week, I talk about wealth building. But wealth, I say again, has many facets. You've got financial wealth, but then you got health wealth. You got relationship wealth. Mm-hmm. You've got wealth of your family and friends.
Spiritual wealth. You have to have spiritual wealth.
And you have to have spiritual wealth.
And that doesn't mean any one particular religion. What it really means is understanding that there's something out there greater than yourself.
That's right.
And that you have to pay homage to that you're just one of many, and how do you make those many better so that you continue the population, continue to make the world better. And so, you have to have a spiritual health, whether you're a Christian, you're a Jew, you're a Muslim, or whatever, Buddhist, whatever. But you got to have a sense of something greater than yourself, and you can't be self-centered.
Right. Well, you guys have done an incredible job. Now, I like what you said. You stalk it, analyze it, go after it, and you go out and make it happen, and y'all meet at the Pray. Now, what was the first business y'all had together?
Well, it's so natural. We don't even. It's sort of like it's continuous.
But actually, it was the TV show.
Yeah.
Because the first book I wrote, B. Smith, Entertaining and Cooking for Friends, my husband sold that as the TV show.
Brilliant. I told you he was brilliant. Now that's brilliant.
My goodness.
That's brilliant.
And I'll tell you, and we, like my wife has said about standing on a mountain of no's for one yes. We had a magazine out before Oprah had her magazine, and the very people who turned us down and told us an African-American magazine, a lifestyle magazine, wouldn't sell. And we said, it's not an African-American lifestyle magazine. It's a woman who happens to be African-American who's going to talk about lifestyle, and obviously she's going to include her life, and which is from an African-American experience. But it's not just that, because sometimes people like to pigeonhole you.
Oh, no question.
They told us that it wouldn't work. They wouldn't pick it up. We went to American Express, and they picked it up, and they saw how well the magazine was doing. They went out and got Oprah. Now, on the heels of that same company that we went to, American Express Publishing, they were quietly buying Time Warner was quietly buying up Essence magazine, but no one knew, and we were at American Express Publishing, and they canceled our magazine because, once again, you can't have two of the same thing in the same company. Every other company you can, but so when we got canceled, we said to ourselves, we're not going to sell pages anymore. We're going to sell products, and everybody laughed at us. And my wife came out with this idea for one quilt that was what we called a transcultural and Afrasian, taking Asian and African sensitivities and style and putting it together. And people laughed at us, and Sears and Roebuck and Kmart and JCPenney, they all turned us down. And this one guy believed in us with one quilt, and he had 178 stores, and they were called Bed Bath & Beyond. And now, almost 11 years later, we have 350 items in the store, and they have over 1,000 stores. So, it just goes to show you when one door closes, you don't stop, or you don't boo-hoo yourself. You just keep moving.
Hold that thought. This is fantastic. Folks, you heard it just there. A setback is a setup for a comeback. Never give up. That's the story that you can use in your life. Stay tuned, folks, because we got more to come with B. Smith and Dan Gasby, an incredible interview helping you to live the best life possible. Stay tuned. You're listening to The Willie Jolley Show, and for sure, the best is yet to come.
But Lord, since I met you, all that's changed in the blink of an eye.
Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and for years I've told people that in order to have a greater life, it starts by having greater individual days. If you have a great day and you repeat that great day 7 times, you've had a great week. And you repeat that week 4 times, you've had a greater month. And then repeat that month 12 times, you've had a greater year, and you're on your way to a greater life. And it starts with that individual day. I recommend you start each day with something powerful. I call it the pure, the powerful, and the positive. Rather than starting your day with bad news, how many people got killed, or how many children got snatched, or how many fires there were, I recommend you start your day with something to inspire and empower and encourage you to make this day a great day. We're excited to announce the start of Jolley TV on my Facebook page. Go to Willie Jolley, Willie.Jolley on Facebook. Just go to Willie.Jolley on Facebook and get ready for a great day and a great life. Have a great day on purpose.
A midnight phoenix rises from the ashes of the past, shimmering in the darkness. It spreads its wings at last. Golden sun illuminates grassy plains below, and crimson blossoms bloom again where nothing used to grow. Small steps taken on a mighty long road. Small steps taken on a mighty long road. Small steps taken on a mighty long road.
And we're back. You're listening to music from my money-making music and motivation product. You can get it on williejolly.com. You can get it on iTunes. You can download it, or you can get the full package, which includes a CD of my daily motivational minutes from WHUR, my CD of my music, and then a DVD of me speaking at a number of events, including a piece where you'll really enjoy me and Gladys Knight singing together, a duet a couple years ago, which was just fantastic, and we're grateful. So get the whole package, and it comes with a book. So money making music and motivation at my website, williejolly.com. Also, I wanted to encourage everybody that, this is a great time of the year to get gifts for folks. So I want to encourage you to go to the website, williejolly.com, get some gifts for people, and go to B. Smith. I want to talk about some of the gifts and offerings they have. And I, again, want to promote my nephews, Noble Jr. and Nathan, who are the twins who are going to be performing there on New Year's Eve, as well as they perform there often. And I'm so proud of them. And so if you go to the B. Smith's restaurant in Union Station in D.C., you can hear the Jolley brothers. I'm not sure when are they there, you folks?
Willie, they are, first of all, they're nice guys, and then they're classy cats, and then least of all, but most importantly, they are great entertainers, and they play some fantastic music, and in one of the most historic settings in the nation, in the presidential suite of the train station in D.C.
And they will be there for New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve.
As will we.
We're hosting the New Year's Eve party.
Tell everybody about it. Tell everybody about it.
D and the Jollies.
Tell everybody how they can get information or get the reservations of what they need to do, because we want people to. We know it's going to sell out quickly, so folks, don't hesitate, don't delay.
You want to do the honors?
Right. Well, you know what? They can certainly call the restaurant 202-289-6188 in D.C., or they can go online to bsmith.com and go to. We have the 3 restaurants, but they will log on to restaurants and then go to the D.C. restaurant, and the information will be up there.
Or Open Table. They can make a reservation through opentable.com for B. Smith Restaurant Union Station in Washington, D.C. And once again, that number is 202-289-6188.
It will be a 5-course prefix dinner, and of course that jolly music, dancing, party favors, and midnight toast, and all kinds of good things.
Outstanding. And y'all have a Sunday brunch, too, that's out of sight. I mean, it is off the chain.
Yeah, when you finish there, you go into a food coma.
Beautiful thing.
Daryl, I'm going to have to take you over to the brunch Sunday, okay? I have to take one of these Sundays. I'm going to take you over there. Daryl, his mouth is watering. Okay. So,
Daryl, you got a standing invitation. Anytime you want to come, you let us know, okay?
Not a problem. Now, y'all started this TV show, the TV show that led to the magazine. You had a setback, but you turned that setback into a comeback. What happened from there?
Well, you know what? When we decided that we didn't have the magazine anymore, we decided we'd sell products. And we had 3 restaurants. We already had the restaurants, but products, and the reason I started with a quilt is because I remember as a small child growing up that my grandmother and my mom had quilts and made quilts. And I thought, well, let me do something that's a modern quilt. And, we knocked on a few doors. We got turned down, but, that big box, that nice Bed Bath & Beyond big box, eventually they understood that it was the thing to do, and it's been a very good relationship since then. We work hard, but we love what we do, and we're passionate, and we do not take no for an answer.
And there's another component to when you talk about success. She does the homework. A lot of people, when we started out 11 years ago in licensing business, you see a lot of, everybody who can sing, everybody who can throw a football or dunk a basket or do whatever, or just be a celebrity because they're celebrities, because they're got a reality TV show. They'll put their name on something, and it can be quicksilver success. But most of it is like chewing gum. All the sweetness is out, and then they just throw it away. And that's because they just stick their name on anything and have no idea of what the history of the business is, have no idea what the products are. I mean, we've been, to the plants. We work intimately. She works on all of the design. Before B. Smith goes on a product, we know it up and down, and we have an idea that there's a need in the industry, or at least we've seen that there's a potential need. And a lot of people who are celebrities, they have, managers and what have you that will stick their name on anything. I mean, recently, a couple of years ago, somebody wanted her to do a gold tooth polish. Now, we're not going to do that.
Absolutely not.
And that leads me right to the importance of branding. And I want y'all to talk about branding because, branding is a word that we're now hearing lots of, but from my experience base, it really is about the reputation and how you are positioned in the marketplace. And how did y'all create a mindset to build such a powerful brand, not just a personal brand, but a mega brand? What did you think? How was the process built? How did you create this thought process?
Having the 3 restaurants, starting with 1, and then when Dan and I got together, then we went to 2, and we went to 3, and you never know how many more we're going to go to. But we had the foundation. That's one of the most important things people don't really understand is you've got to have a foundation, and it has to be a solid foundation. So we were already known as businesses where you could go to be entertained, where you could go for special events, where you could bring your clients. So it was already a positive venture when we got together, and then we just grew that. And then we continued with the TV show. Starting with that book that I first did, Entertaining and Cooking for Friends, which I still love. And today I know a lot of people bring that book out because it's got a really wonderful Kwanzaa celebration in it. and 'tis the season from the 26th to January 1st. So that book was the beginning of everything for us. When Dan sold that book as a TV show, that was beginning. And we're talking about a new show now.
Yeah, we're working right now. We've just partnered with a very high-powered agent who sees a whole unique new opportunity for B. Smith to do something. And remember, when that show came on back in 1997, it was groundbreaking. First of all, it was in lifestyle, it was what Julia was to television in prime time. Here's an African-American woman who's decidedly, beautiful, who knows how to cook, knows how to entertain. She's not doing the hey girl thing. But she can talk to everybody about everything and with ease, and she was authentic. And so, she was the first person to really not wear schmucks on television, but to be color coordinated with their guests. She was the first person that, introduced, the idea that you don't have to have a PhD to make a dish. She never talked down to people the way some people do, or made them feel that if you didn't do this, you were somehow less than perfect. And so, that began the wonderful lifestyle odyssey. And as far as branding goes, what we understand is you have to, if you're going to brand anything, you have to take yourself and put yourself out on a board and say, who are you, and define what you stand for.
Without a question.
And our brand is about positivity. It is a feel-good brand. We are not about negativity.
And our mission statement, we understood, long before Barack came on the scene, and I mean this very positively, it was about bringing diverse groups of people together under one stylish umbrella. That's what B. Smith is about. It's about transcultural. It's not about just talking about the African-American experience. It's about understanding others' experiences and taking your experience as an African-American and blending and mixing it to give its own unique appeal and flavor. And so that created the template for how we developed our products. And to today, if you look at a B. Smith product, you'll know it's a B. Smith product. You'll see the aphrasion. You'll see a certain wow factor. You'll see certain embellishments. You'll see certain things that suggest, wow, I wouldn't mind sitting next to her on an airplane at 30,000 feet. I wouldn't be intimidated. By the time we landed, we're buddies. That's what our product speaks to. It's about bringing different groups of people together under one stylish umbrella.
Ooh, I love that. And that's exactly what you have done. You've done it with such class. Now, here's the word that I think that defines B. Smith and y'all's whole brand: class and style. Class and style and elegance. And, people need to see elegance, and they need to go to the restaurant and experience elegance. They need to see it in the fact that if they see your... nothing else. Just go to the restaurant, folks, and look on the walls going to the restrooms. And the pictures and the way they are positioned, elegance. Everything has a touch and a flair about it that is fantastic. Folks, I'm excited about just getting there. And every time I get there, I want to go back to just get that feeling again. It's about positivity. You're listening to B. Smith and her brilliant husband, Dan Gasby, on the Willie Jolley Show. They've been on everybody else's show, but they're on my show now, and I'm excited. You stay tuned. We got a little bit more, and I've got more to come. The best is yet to come. Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and people often ask, how did I go from a broke, busted nightclub singer to become a best-selling author and to be voted one of the outstanding 5 speakers in the world by the 175,000 members of Toastmasters International? The answer is that I decided to invest and change my thinking, invest in my mindset, and decided to change my inputs, because inputs determine outputs. I heard about a seminar years ago when I was just getting started. I was making about $100 a speech, and I heard this seminar that was creating millionaires, and it cost $10,000, but the guy was getting results. I didn't have that kind of money, but I decided to borrow it, because I learned that there's a price for success, the price of college, the price of going to school, the price of education. And there's a price for success, and then there's a cost for not paying the price, the cost of staying the same. And that cost is greater than the price. It's too expensive. And so I went, and it changed my life. And I came back and quickly made $100,000. I heard a similar story from Dr. Dave Martin, how he went to a success rally, heard a speaker who inspired him. He and his friend said, wow, that's changed my life. The speaker had a package of materials to help build wealth. The package cost $1,500. And that was all the money Dr. Dave had to his name. Dr. Dave's friend asked, do you think this stuff is worth it? Dr. Dave thought for a moment. He said, I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it. But I do know that I'm worth it. I'm worth it. He invested that money in that package and used the materials to grow his thinking. He grew his mindset. He shared how that $1,500 investment has gone on to generate millions in revenues. He's a multimillionaire. And he has homes now in Arizona and Florida. I want to say to you, it's time to invest in you. I want to give you some materials that will help you, grow your mindset, grow your future, grow your finances. Go to wjspeaks.com/billionaire. wjspeaks.com/billionaire to get some materials that will inspire your success and help you find that there's a price for success, but there's a cost for not paying the price. And the cost is always greater than the price. Go to wjspeaks.com/billionaire and get the bag, the box, or any of the materials there and keep growing your wealth. And remember, as a man thinketh, so as he is, and your best is yet to come.
Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get until you try it. So you might as well live life to the fullest. Give it your best shot. You might as well sing like you don't need the money. Love like you'll never get hurt. Dance like nobody's watching. Put your whole heart in it if you want it to work. I hope you dance.
Oh, you know that's true. I hope you dance. I hope you give life a shot. Don't worry about the fact that things don't always work perfectly and that all your ducks are not lined up together. Go before you're ready and give your best and enjoy the process. As one of my friends said, expect the best, prepare for the worst, and celebrate it all. Oh, that's the truth. I want to give a shout out to my good buddy, Les Brown. Talked to him earlier today, and he is excited because starting the first of the year, you'll be able to hear him on syndicated radio, on terrestrial radio, doing a talk radio show, and we're excited about that, so keep your ears open. I'll tell you more about it as it rolls out, and I'm grateful for his continue to tell people about my latest book, Turn Setbacks into Greenbacks. He called me to say he had just had a conversation with someone about it, and they were excited because Michelle Singletary made it the book of the month, and we're excited about the response because it is impacting people, helping them get through these tough economic times. My guest today, the one and only B. Smith, and her brilliant, I keep saying brilliant husband, Dan Gasby, because Dan and I, we were at a fundraiser for youth who were going to play golf, and we started talking, and I said, wow, this guy is just brilliant. I mean, I was so empowered and inspired after talking to him. And then I developed a friendship with the two of them, and I've seen them at different events, and we've talked, and they're always together. They're always smiling, hugging, and sharing love, not only with each other, but with everybody around them. And you get that flavor when you go into their restaurant. And so I am grateful that they were able to make time today. Thank y'all again for being on. And I know we've been trying for a while, but thank y'all so much for making time in your schedule.
Good things come to those who wait, and we're honored to be on your show, Willie.
We certainly are, and we really admire what you've done and what you continue to do.
I'm grateful, you know.
You said something very important about giving back. You know, what you were speaking about, we met at the First Tee event at our restaurant in Washington, D.C., and that's an excellent thing for young people to learn. Golf teaches them discipline. It's athletic, believe it or not, when you've got to walk and move across 8,000 or 9,000 yards of terrain, and it teaches you so many different aspects about how to team building, working together, analyzing things, using math to make shots. And my wife and I, we both believe not only First Tee but other, charitable causes. You know, I'm a trustee at American University. I mean, she sits on boards and
I'm a member of the Links and have been for a long time, and we work with the community and really love working closely with the kids.
Wow.
Fantastic. That's really important. You know, one of the other things that has been great in our life along with that, we work with General Mills.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like on a 500 million cornbread and muffin mix and biscuits, containers. And, it's also about kids understanding that the bar is set high.
Yes.
And, through their, they can reach their dreams. They can see what other people who with positive, relationships and businesses, and they can say, I can do that.
No question.
And I want them to say, I can do that and even better.
Wow. That's the kind of inspiration that people who are givers, as I said earlier in one of the other hours, not how did you die, but how did you live? Not what did you get, but what did you give?
That's right.
And so you guys are givers, and you are consistently giving. I want y'all to give people, as we try and give people some closing thoughts in this interview, if you were going to sit in front of a class of maybe college students or entrepreneurs, young budding entrepreneurs, what are the secrets for success that you would just share with them?
Honey, you want to start?
Yeah. I could tell you that my secret for success is to never give up. It's I don't care what it is, do not give up. And the other most important thing is if you need to do your homework. There are adults out here who come up to us and say, "Oh, I would like to open a restaurant." Well, that's not how it happens. You have to understand what the business is, know the business, have either worked in the business or start working in the business so that you can know whether you want to be in it.
It's always amazing, and she's so right, that somebody will say, I want to open a restaurant, and Sweetie will say, well, have you ever worked in a restaurant? Have you ever cooked for more than your family? And they'll go, no. And then you'll look at them, well, what makes you think you're going to be able to do it? Everything looks easy. Everything always, Saturday night at a restaurant when it's packed, you're making dollars hand over fist. But what about Monday when there's nobody there or there's a snowstorm and you've got a payroll? People don't understand. Everybody shouldn't be an entrepreneur because it's like surfing on a razor blade at times.
Yeah.
It is when a bad week and the dishwasher made more money than you because everything came in and everything went out.
Right.
The highs are very high and the lows are very low.
Yes. Now, you said something, Dan. It looks easy. It looks easy when you are competent and you know what you're doing. It's like my wife says, it's like the duck. The duck on the water is gliding along, but under the water they are working like the little. The feet are moving.
Those web feet are kicking.
Yeah. So when you're good and you're good at what you do, when you're good and you're on TV, it looks so effortless. But we know that you prepared before that. You did some study. You read. You did your homework.
Exactly.
And Dan, you've done the building and the programming and the producing of the shows. It looks effortless. Look, he just flowed in and everything went well. But they didn't see the work you did before.
They didn't see all the prep.
That's right.
They didn't see standing on that mountain of no's for one yes.
Ooh, that's a powerful line, folks. I'm telling you, standing on the mountain of no's for one yes. That's powerful because you've got to be willing to keep asking, don't you?
That's right.
You know what?
Ain't too proud to beg.
Uh-huh.
You know what? You look at it, and people. The biggest thing that I would tell young people is really, at times you've got to leave everyone alone to get your dream accomplished, because people are always going to see you where you were, not where you're going. And if I was sitting in front of a group of high schoolers, I would tell them, there's one of you here that's going to be more successful than anyone ever imagined, and there's one of you that's going to be the biggest failure. Now, which one would you rather be? You're going to be the biggest disappointment, and the reason is if you take shortcuts. And if you don't think before you feel and judge certain things, you're going to be that way. If you're going to be a follower or you're going to be around people doing less, you're going to do even more of less. And you want to try to stay around people who are doing more because they're going to light your path and show you and make you think. And if you learn to listen more than you talk, you'll learn more about how to do things and watch what other people are watching. Then you'll understand how they think. Those are the things I would tell some young people.
Got it. Now, I want to jump back just for a minute where we started. Two things, ideating and relationship, because these are powerful. We only got a couple more minutes, but ideating, how do y'all do it?
We bring ideas to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And we go back and forth and we talk about it and we do homework. If we've got to do a little research, we do the research. But we have a collaboration.
Yep. We get up, and every morning I try to go through as many newspapers. I listen to the news. I'm walking down the street. She'll look at something, and she'll say, "What do you think of that?" And then we'll start a conversation about, okay, what about that? Oh, well, that, and then and it starts from a spark. It's there are no new ideas. It's just the ability to implement them.
Because everything old can be new again.
Say that one more time, B.
Everything old can be new again.
That's powerful.
Particularly with ideas and new ways to do things, new ways to present things. It's just about using your mind and understanding that all around you there are things going on that you can take from.
Hey, the greatest cookie that ever was made hasn't been made yet, because there's going to be one made soon that's going to be better than the one that was made before. So it's that's what life is. It's a transformation. It's looking at something and seeing how you can put a spin on it, or make it better, or make it different. And that comes from having a passion for life. That whole thing about being healthy, it goes back to that. It goes about not thinking of you as the most important thing, being able to humble yourself, a servant of God, understanding that respect to nature if it's not God, because no one person has the right answer, but if you love life, whatever your religion, and you're passionate, and you don't harbor these insecurities about worrying about what other people have, then ideas really start to flow. Or if somebody does something and it's better than yours, or it gets more recognition. My wife and I have never, ever envied anyone.
That's big. That's
huge. We have never, ever counted anyone else's money. The only way I can count somebody's money is if I can feel their pain. And so we walk through this world understanding we're just going to put as much in as we can and take some out.
That's awesome. You two are just a breath of fresh air, and I am grateful to have had the opportunity to have you on my show. And I believe that people who are going to hear this over the years as we replay it, or that they're going to be blessed. So thank y'all for taking time. Stay tuned. Hold on after this is over, because I want to have a quick moment off air with you. But I just want y'all to just say to everybody who's listening, B. Smith and Dan Gasby are what they seem to be. They are people who trust God and live the best life. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Willie, from the bottom of my heart, and I know Sweetie will concur, hey, thank you, and keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you. Folks, I hope y'all will enjoy. I hope y'all have a great new year, everybody who's listening. And remember, we're going to make it even bigger and better in 2011. Stay tuned for the next show, and y'all stay tuned, because the best is yet to come.
Life don't treat you fair. Do you see so many others moving on while you're steady going nowhere?
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.